I did terrible in my first 2 regional competitions. I don't know how, but I managed to qualify for the amateur provincial championships. I don't consider myself a competitive athlete. I'm just a guy that likes to lift weights. As you know, I'm doing a little bit of a side quest in the sport of strongman. The best guys from my province came together to see who's the strongest. I don't deserve to be here. Your boy was nervous as fuck, but I might as well give it my best shot. If I finish top 5, I'll qualify for nationals. Mitch was there, probably the best strongman athlete in the world. I got to talk to him about deadlifts, that was cool. Strongman is metal as fuck. At every competition I've been to, someone almost dies or something crazy happens, and this meet was no different. I came into this with 0 expectations, but I'm extremely competitive, so let's see what happens. In every strongman competition, there's 5 events, and it's always changing, so it's not the same 5 every meet. In this one, I felt good about 3 events, and there's 2 events that, I wasn't super confident in. I'm in the 90 kilo weight class. I didn't even really have to cut for this. I weigh around like 91 and a half just day to day. So all I did was literally just fast and I made 90 kilos. I didn't even have to take off my clothes. But for my training partner / coach, just the guy who inspired me to get into strongman, it was very, very difficult for him to make weight. He's in the 80 kilo weight class. And Roman was in the sauna for like 6 hours basically in total. When he picked me up, he was still about half a kilo over the weight. How do you feel, bro?
Let's go.
He had these freaking vitamin C tablets that he was eating, and he would spit into a cup during the drive. It was like a 3-hour drive to get there. It was pretty disgusting, but he was just spitting in this cup the whole way just to make the last little remainder of weight. So we get there, and he's not even 80 kilos, but we didn't know there was a little bit of a buffer. So he could weigh as much as 80.5, and they would still allow it. So he didn't have to do all that spitting in a cup, and he was in the sauna for like 6 hours total, probably something crazy. But we made it. We both made weight. Of course, after that, we had to hit the McDonald's to regain some of the bloat. You're always a little bit stronger if you have more water inside of you, more salt, more food. So I went crazy. He went not as crazy as me, but he still ate some too. I just wanted to get as much food in my system as possible because the meet is 24 hours after the weigh-in. So we had a lot of time to rest and relax and just get fucking juicy. And believe me when I say, we ate a lot. I went to bed weighing around 93 kilos, so a lot heavier, a lot thicker, a lot more bloated. I was ready for this competition. The first event was the clean and press. So you're using a thick bar, you bring it to your belt. From your belt, you bring it to your shoulders, and then from your shoulders, you just have to bring it all the way up. You have to lock it out. You can do it in any means necessary. You could push press. You could do the split jerk. It doesn't really matter as long as you get to the top. My weight was 240 pounds, and you had to do the most amount of reps in 1 minute. That was the goal. I was extremely nervous going into this. I was able to train this in the gym, but I'm not very strong at this movement. The most I did was the competition weight for 1 rep. I recently changed my form from a push press to more of a squat jerk, so just using a little bit more momentum and jumping under the bar. It came to me pretty naturally, but still I'm very, very nervous. My goal going into this was just to get 1 rep. I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to get 0 points because that definitely does affect your standings, and I just wanted to be able to get 1. My last warm-up, I failed because I was in a little bit of a rush. I didn't have my belt, and the warm-ups were almost over, so I went for it. Boom, I couldn't even lock it out, and it wasn't even the competition weight. So going into the event, bro, I can't tell you guys, I was extremely, extremely nervous. I don't usually wear wrist wraps, but I was getting a lot of wrist pain, and especially in my right wrist going up to this. So I just put them as tight as possible. I just let the adrenaline kick in, and let's see how it goes. I've never had a problem with the clean. It was always with the press portion. It was always with the shoulder portion. So I went for it. It actually went easier than expected. The adrenaline was pumping, but there's still 60 seconds, and I didn't want to rush. I wanted to take my time, so I went for a second rep here. And my whole goal going into this was, when it's on my shoulders, just jump as high as you can and then dip as low as you can underneath the bar to lock it out. I really didn't think I was gonna get 2, but I said, fuck it, let's try. Bang, move, and I still moved. And I still had a lot of time left. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I got 2, I'm really happy. Let me just take my time. Potentially I could get 3, that would be a lot of points, and I'll be very happy with that. And I wanted to time it so that I went for that last rep with the most time possible. When I tell you the adrenaline was flowing, those reps, I didn't even feel it. The last warm-up was disgusting, it was garbage, but this moved really, really well, and I'm so happy. This is Amirani, He's the Georgian Bull. He goes to my gym as well, along with me and Roman. He's very, very, very strong. He competes in the 105 kilo weight class. He won his event. He was just killing it rep after rep after rep. So he did pretty good, man. So I tied with a bunch of people in third place, which gave me 5.5 points, which I was extremely, extremely happy about. Guys, I would have been happy with just 1 rep. So the fact that I got 3, the adrenaline was going, I was extremely happy. When I finished this, it was like a load was off my back. The farmer's walk. So you have 250 pounds per hand, and it's whoever can cover the most distance in 1 minute. You're going back and forth on a 50-foot track, but you're not allowed to drop it in the middle. You can only drop it at either end. If you drop in the middle, you're out. Roman has his farmer's handles at the gym, so we had a lot of opportunity to train this lift, and it's one that's a personal strength of mine. Generally, I'm good at farmer's walks, my grip is okay, and I can go pretty fast. So I think I definitely had potential to make up a lot of points in this event. I knew a lot of it was just gonna be like grit and cardio, because it's a lot of cardio as well. So before the event started, I was pretty nervous, but I knew I could do good. If I could get 3 laps, that would be really good. That would probably put me in top 3, and I could get a lot of points. So I set my grip, and here we go. One thing I could have done is I probably should have walked a little bit faster. I wasn't going at full speed, but the slower you go, the longer you have to hold it, so it's not as good. So I go all the way to the end. You just have to get your front plates over the first white line. But here's where I fucked up. I took too little rest. I should have rested a little bit more before my second lap, because as I was going back, I could start to feel my grip. I could start to feel my left hand. And I also should have walked a little bit faster, but I was a little too confident that I would make this second lap. On the way back, your rear plates have to fully cross the line. And I dropped mine literally just a few centimeters before the line. So if I just held on for like another half second, it would have counted, and then I would have been able to go for the third lap. I still had a lot of time left, but just the fact that I dropped it a little bit before the line, the judge was like, nope, you're done. And I ended up having a pretty kind of shit performance. Farmers walks are intense. You're pushing hard, you're holding these super heavy weights. There was a few people, more than one, that like basically passed out during the lift. This is Nick, he's in my weight class, very strong guy. He like almost died basically on this lift, but I don't think anyone got hurt. There was also this lady competing in a wheelchair, and she was still able to do the event. She got Mitch Hooper to push her, which is actually, this was really cool to watch. Roman did very good at this event. He came first place as well, but after, he was just lying down on the ground like this. He needed to recover for 10 minutes or so, and it was a little bit scary to watch, but afterwards he was okay. But these really, really drained them. Farmers walks are difficult, man. There's a lot of close calls, a lot of accidents, people falling over and shit, but you know, it was a really good event. I came in 6th place for this event, which earned me another 5 points, and I was 6th place overall. So not too good, not too bad. I was still within striking distance of nationals. Let me tell you something. Mitch Hooper was there. Obviously, he's a professional strongman. He's a really strong guy. He won the Arnolds last year. This is a big guy. He's not super tall, I think, compared to like the average professional strongman. He's only like 6'2", 6'3", but he's big. Like his physique, you know, I talk about getting a mounted physique, getting a lot of like muscle and body fat, just looking big. This guy is huge, bro. Holy shit. He's prepping right now to deadlift 505 kilos, which would be the all-time world record. But at the time of recording this, Halfthor posted a really quick, really speedy 480. And I know he's going to go for it in about a week from now. So I wanted to ask him his thoughts about that. So, bro, if Halfthor gets 505 in a week or two, what's your plan?
Then it's 510 next year.
Next year, okay. You think are you confident with 510? Because it's a big jump still.
At that weight, not really. It's 1%. That's fine. I think if you're ready for 505, you're probably ready for 510. And it's just getting over the psychological barrier. So
I think it's all psychological, eh?
Partially.
I was hella nervous, not gonna lie to you, but I guess he's right, like just 1%, but adding 1% to 505 kilos is fuck, man. That's a lot of weight. This guy's, dude, just being next to him, he's fucking big, bro. And so I'm not surprised that he can deadlift that much weight, but we'll see how it goes for him. Speaking of deadlifts, the next event was the Yoke deadlift. So you have to deadlift this 530-pound yoke, and it's not from the official deadlift height. It's a little bit higher, and it's also 60 seconds. Whoever gets the most reps in 60 seconds wins. Roman did have a yoke as well, so we were able to practice this directly. But the number one thing I noticed is that the grip is just so thick. It's really hard to, even get a good grip, even with straps. And you might think like, okay, if you have straps, it doesn't matter, but it does affect how much force you're able to put into the bar, because if you can't get a good grip on something, it's really hard to like give it 100% effort. One of the guys in my weight class, Brad, he was the 80 kilo national champion, right? And he just decided to move up to 90 kilos for fun. He went before me and he got 8 reps. He's a very strong guy, but in these competitions, I'm always at a little bit of a crossroads, because on one hand, I want to cheer the other competitors. I want everyone to do well. I want everyone to perform. But on the other hand, I'm just so fucking competitive and I want to win so badly. So I remember my girl got the video. While he was going, I was just like eyeing him down, Jordan just fucking locked in. He got 8 reps and he went before me. So I'm like, okay, I got to give it my all. I really have to push myself here. Those back smacks, they help a lot. They get your adrenaline going. So I was just like full hype, full intensity. I'm just like, I'm gonna kill this shit. Maximum reps in 1 minute. First one moved easy enough. My whole thing going into this was just keep pumping it out. Just keep pumping it out, because I know I could get, my aim was 9. Obviously, I want to come first place. I want to make up a lot of points. You can see Mitch Hooper in the background. I feel like if he was watching me, I could have gotten more reps, but he wasn't, sadly. So even though I have straps, my grip is starting to slip. And I wasn't able to get that rep. This is rep number 6. I was going for 7. I was asking the judges, how much time? Because there's a little bit of strategy when you're doing this as well. Time's almost up. I'm like, okay, let me just give it one more shot. You see, I'm gonna go for it. I almost get it, but I just couldn't quite lock it out. And the reason I couldn't lock it out was because the bar was all the way at my fingers. You'll see from this different angle, I was basically holding on with just the strap. And that last little, like 5 or 10 centimeters of range of motion, it was all the way at my fingers. There was just no way it was gonna happen. So unfortunately, I only got 6 reps. There was one guy who basically just passed out during the deadlift, and he was okay in the end. And the only reason I recognize him is because he was the only guy there wearing jorts. If you wear jorts, you're gonna be my friend. But he was okay in the end. There was a lot of people passing out in general. I got 2nd place in this event, and that bumped me up a little bit in the standings. Now I was in 5th overall. Next event was sandbag to sled. Basically, you pick up a 250-pound sandbag, you walk it across the course, drop it at the end, and then you have to take a sled of unknown weight. No one knew how much the sled weighed, and then you have to bring it all the way back. Whoever does this the fastest is the winner. Roman just brings all his strongman shit to the gym, so I was able to practice this event as well with the sandbag, with the sled, and I'm generally pretty good at moving events. Our biggest concern going into this was the friction between the shoes and the floor, because if your shoes are too slippery, it's going to be basically impossible to push the sled. And a lot of athletes had this problem where they'd be trying to pull, but they're slipping, right? And you can't really produce force, and you can't even finish. So I took poor old Enrique's shoes, and I was like testing which one is better, is this better, is that better? And we also bought tape. So we went to Walmart the day before, and we bought tape, and we were gonna stick the tape to the bottom of our shoes so that our shoes could be a little bit more sticky. We were experimenting with different things, right? I tried it out, but it didn't really make that much of a difference, or the difference was very, very minimal. So I was actually genuinely scared, like what if I zero this event because of my fucking shoes? It sucked. But we found a workaround. We figured that if we go barefoot, and if your foot is moist, if your foot is a little wet, it sticks really well to the floor. And we were deliberating, and we decided that's the plan of attack. We're gonna go barefoot. Roman's back slaps weren't hard enough, so I got the referee to do it for me. He did it with one hand. Holy shit, it hurt so much. It got me extremely hyped up. I'm doing heavy breathing too. I'm trying to like get myself amped, and heavy breathing actually helps a lot with that. So my whole entire concept, my whole theory here was to not go as fast as possible, maybe 95%, just so that I don't make any mistakes. Because I've had times where I've dropped the sandbag or, you slip on the sled, so just don't make any mistakes. First part went really well. I got the sled, and I'm just trying to move my feet as fast as possible. Just little steps, move it fast, move it fast. fact that I went barefoot was the best plan. There were some athletes who maybe even were a little bit faster than me, but they didn't go barefoot. They started with shoes, and then when they started slipping on the sled, some of them even took their shoes off. They would strip in the middle of the fucking competition, and then they would continue barefoot. So I'm very happy that I did that. I ended up finishing in 3rd place. This is Surya. He saw my original strongman video, and he said that inspired him to compete in strongman. And I talked with him on Instagram a little bit, and he was actually at this meet, so it was really cool to meet him as well. I managed to bump up one more spot. Now I was in 4th place. And there's only one event left to go. I just need to come top 5 in order to make it to nationals. I was very close, but also very nervous. Roman was chilling. He made 1st place everything so far, so he was way in the lead. Amirani, the Georgian bull, was also doing very, very well. While I was waiting for Roman to compete, I was just standing there, right? And I just happened to look to my side, and I see one of the volunteers deadlifting the yoke. And I swear to God, I saw it happen in slow motion. I just saw the yoke tip slowly and fall. Dude, there was this guy, he was standing right it was like a movie. He was standing right in the spot where it fell, but it just fell all around him. Makes this loud ass noise. Everyone in the meet's like, I swear to God, if this guy was like half a meter in front or half a meter behind, he would have gotten knocked in the head, probably would have been knocked out, probably would have had to go to the hospital. Fucking insane. The last event was the sandbag toss. So there's a 30-pound bag, and you have to toss it behind you over a 15-foot bar. This one really scared me. I was able to practice. We did have a sandbag that Roman had, and a few days a week we would go out to the park, and we would practice on the tree, we would practice on the fence, we would practice on the wires. We just got a lot of practice in, and I had mixed results. I wasn't really able to do that many reps with 30 pounds, but one thing that I realized when I got to the competition and when I started to warm up was that the bag that Roman had, the red one, it was really long. It's made for 2 hands. Those blue bags at the meet were very compact, they were very tight, and so it was much easier to throw. So that was very relieving. I did manage to get a few reps as a warm-up, and my mentality going into this was just focus. There was no hype. It was all technique, all trajectory. Just focus, execute, get a couple reps, and then go home, call it a day. Pretty nervous. A few of the athletes that went before me, they were getting 5, 6, 7 reps. So I knew 1 was mandatory, but if I could do probably 4, 3, that would put me in a really good spot. I might even podium. My goal, because I was in 4th place, bro. Can you imagine if I get top 3? That would be insane. So I knew I could podium, but I just had to focus. I had to lock in. Just practice my technique exactly how I practiced. First rep was ass. I caught it because I didn't want to waste time. I actually caught the bag. And the judge told me after, don't do this, but I didn't care. In the moment, I just wanted to cash it. I wanted to go right away. In my mind, I'm like, don't panic. You're going to be okay. Just focus on your form. Perfect rep. Now you have to go to the other side. I slip. You have to go to the other side and you have to do it again. So I got 1 rep so far. Boom. At this point, I'm like, just get in the flow state. Execute perfectly on your form. 3 in a row. Fucking stoked. At this point, I'm like really happy, but there's still lots of time. Just lock in. Keep going. Beautiful. Here's where I fucked up. I only did 1 swing. I tried to go for it right away. Bad move. Time is ticking. So I'm like, okay, let me just go 1 more. Maybe I get 5 reps. No, there was no chance. But 4 reps, I was so happy, dude. That's good points. That's good points. I was afraid that I might get 0 before this competition. So the fact that I got 4, dude, when I finish this, like a load off my back, competition is over. I think I did pretty good, but let's see how the other athletes do. But in the end, I ended up finishing 4th place in this event, and I got 4th place overall. So we made it to nationals, gentlemen. I was only half a point behind 3rd place. So maybe if I had gotten another rep on deadlifts or another rep on the sandbag throws, I could have been top 3. That was really awesome. But I don't care about being top 3. I just want to go to nationals. That's the only thing that matters to me. These are the top 3 athletes. Brad got 1st place, the 80 kilo champion, so makes sense. The guy who got 2nd, Patient, he's also very, very, very strong. He came into the meet with an injured back, but he still did very well. And the 3rd place guy, Reed, I actually realized later that he was at my first strongman meet. He was one of the referees, so that's how I kind of remembered him. He did really well as well. He's a very passionate guy. He'd always yell after his lifts, so that was cool to see. And then I got 4th, so I was just fucking happy as can be. Roman, of course, he killed it. He came first place easily, just destroyed the competition. So he's going to nationals as well. He's really, really good competitor, and watching him lift in the gym is what inspired me to do strongman in the first place. Definitely follow him on Instagram. The Georgian Bull did very well as well. He got second place in the 105 kilo weight class, so he's going to nationals as well. The guy who got third place, Sean, he was the guy, if you remember from my original strongman video, he's the guy who fucked up his ankle on the frame carry. So he did good as well. I'm gonna see him at nationals. It was really cool to come here because I got to see a lot of familiar faces and like meet new people as well. It was cool. I like the environment of these meets. So all three of us, me, Roman, and Amirani, we're all going to nationals. Roman for 80 kilos, me for 90, and then Amirani for 105. So just the fact that I made it to nationals, so awesome. I don't even care how I do there. There's gonna be a lot of strong guys there. I might even get last place. I don't give a fuck. Just the fact that I get to go there, live the experience, enjoy myself, have fun. I'm not a strongman athlete. I'm just a gym bro that's like kind of strong and I wanna compete. It's fun. Competing at a meet is way different from maxing out in the gym. In the gym, you have all your factors. You have your music, you have the mirror, you have, your pre-workout you take at your exact time. But at a meet, it's so different. People are yelling at you, there's so much energy in the room. It's like, it's hard to focus on your game plan. And this is my third meet, and it feels like it's the first time where I was able to execute, and competing in itself is a skill. And as I do more and more meets, I'm becoming better at the skill of competing, which is like performing under pressure when it matters. Because a lot of these guys that, for example, Nick, who came 5th place, and Will, who came 6th place, if they had come even just a little bit better, they would have beat me. Like there's an easy scenario where I could have come 6th or 7th if these guys just did a little bit better. So I got a little lucky, they didn't do as well. I did a little bit better. I came on my A game, or let's say my B game. So I did okay. And I'm just happy. I'm just happy that I made it. I made it to nationals. We're chilling. We're gonna go to Alberta. You'll definitely see a video on that. And yeah, if you haven't seen my original meet, check out this video here, or you can check out this random video.